Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video I'm going to be recreating this look right here on the other side of my face. Today is our engagement photo shoot for our photographer is going to meet us out in a field and everything. We're going to do them outdoors. So I thought it'd be fun to do the makeup look together. This makeup look here is kind of styled after the makeup look done by Jaclyn Hill in her bridal tutorial, and if I can find the link, I'll link it below. But she used a lot of Makeup Geek and MAC eyeshadows to create kind of like a smoked out side eye thing that is very flattering on everyone. So first thing I'm doing is taking a fluffy brush, taking Makeup Geek's Peach Smoothie, and I do this anyway, which is like really funny that she did this in the video. I was like, I do that all the time. Like probably half of my eye tutorials I do peach smoothie just liberally all over the upper crease area, almost up to the brows. Okay, then what I did was I took Creme Brule, which is just a little bit darker, and did the same thing, but I didn't quite go up as high. Then this is just defining the crease even more. I went in with one shade darker than that, and this is the color Frappe. So here's Peach Smoothie, then you go down to Creme Brulee, then you get a little bit darker and you go to Frappe. So just to add depth in the look, and this is going on the crease area as well. Then I went in with a flat brush, and I'm switching to MAC shadows. And I'm using a mixture of Grain and Naked Lunch, as Jaclyn Hill did in her tutorial, on a flat brush. So just take this color right here, oops, this one, and I'm tapping that on the lid in the inner corner area. And then I went in with Naked Lunch, which is this one here, just like a soft peachy pinky beige color, and I put that on the lid and lower inner corner area. Okay, so then I went in with the fluffy brush again. This is a different fluffy brush, but if you only have one, do what you gotta do. I went in with Makeup Geek's Barcelona Beach. So this is a cool toned brown. And what I did with this one is I kind of blended the area, I'll just show you with the pencil, the end, where there's where the dark brown starts and this is where the lid color is. So I blended that area in between the two colors. And I kind of made it like more neutral. So those colors I used initially are warm, like peachy browny colors. This is a cool tone brown, so it's really going to just almost like add dimension and depth and smoky without being really dark or dramatic. Okay, take an eye kohl, put it on right in the lashes, and it doesn't have to be neat, and that you can really make this very thin, keep it right in the lashes, and it doesn't really matter because we're going to be covering this anyway. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a flat liner brush, and we're going to kind of smudge this. That's why you have like the smoky look over here. I'm going to smudge it with eyeshadow. So this is a Jessup brush, but it's a Jessup flat definer. I know Sigma has one, Elf has a flat liner brush. I'm using Mystery and kind of like a deeper purpley color. So like this one here, any of these really dark browns would work, so whatever you have. And I took a flat definer brush, and I'm actually just kind of going on top of that liner that we just did. With eyeshadow, and this is going to kind of smoke it and blend it, smudge it, and soften it. Do you see already how the harsh line on the inner eye is still there, but this part is kind of like softened? I think it's really pretty. I may start doing that more often. Thicker and thicker on the outer part of the eye, and then the inner part of the eye, you want to keep it a little bit thinner. Once we do this, we can go on top of that with another liner, believe it or not. I'm going to be using a black liquid liner, the Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper. But one thing she recommended was to go up on the outer part of the eye, and instead of just going back and forth to smudge it like we've been doing, she said to smudge upwards for the outer part area, because what you want is you want this area here to kind of blend into the crease and into the outer V. And so you want the liner to just kind of fade into nothing. Do you see how it just kind of fades up into this darker area? So that's kind of the goal here. Now when you have that done and you think it's smoked out efficiently, then I go in with that liquid liner, and I'm going to draw the skinniest line I ever draw with the Kat Von D tattoo liner right in the lash line. And we are going to be applying false lashes, so it doesn't matter, you know, how real neat it is, but you do want it to be neat. This is just to bring back some of that definition that we had before to the eye that we just smoked out. So now it's back and it's defined. Okay, so I'm going to curl my lashes, and I'm going to apply some mascara. I'm going to be using the YSL Mascara Volume Effet Faux Cils. And once that is dry, I'll be applying some lashes, and I will come back once all that is done. The lashes I'm going to be using are the Ardell Naturals, and the number is, oh, they're Demi Luvies. Sorry, Demi Luvies. Those are the lashes I'm using. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, so I put the lashes on. And I actually remembered when I was putting the mascara on that I never finished the mascara on the other side of my face, the lower lash line. So I went back in, and if that looks different to you, it's because I just fixed that. Something I had forgotten to do. Okay, so right now I'm using Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation because it is SPF in it, or it does not have SPF in it. And so I am blending them with my It Cosmetics Heavenly Brush Kabuki. And then I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC20. And I'm making sure to take this really deep down my neck and behind my ear, because in photos, you know, you don't want to make it obvious that your foundation doesn't match. So I'm also taking it into the hairline, onto the ears, just making sure that everything blends together seamlessly. Okay, so for brows, I'll be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in medium brown. My go-to these days. Taking it into the hairline. In case you were wondering, if you ever get makeup in your hair and you're like, oh my gosh, I got makeup on my hair, all you need to do is take a makeup removing wipe and wipe your hair. I don't find it really messes with my hairstyle too much. Okay, so my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC20, I'm using the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. I'm just doing one pump onto my finger, and I won't even use it all. That's all I'm going to do today. You really don't need much of this stuff. It makes a good impact. And then for powder on top of it, I was reading about this, that the silica-based powders, like the HD powder from Makeup Forever, or my famous like translucent powders, the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, any of those actually have not SPF in them, but they do flashback in photos. And I was like, why do you call it HD then? But the MAC Pro Longwear is supposed to be good. And then they said to use, this was Goss makeup artist, Wayne Goss, to use a powder with color. And one of the ones that I've read, sorry the hiccups, is you should use the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural. So that's what I'm using. I'm using the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural in Light Plus. Whew, wow. And I actually am just dotting that color. This is not a light color for me. This is actually my foundation shade. I'm just dotting that a little bit on my face just to make sure I don't get shiny or anything during the day. Let me go ahead and fill in my brows and just tell you what's on my lips really quickly. This is the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip Liner in 3C. It's just like a nice mauve color. And then on top of this mauve color lip liner, I filled it in completely. I use the NYX Butter Gloss in Eclair. The next thing I need to do is do my brow highlight, and for that I'm using MAC's Blanc type. But you could also use one from Makeup Geek or whatever you have that's just a nice like off-white color. I'm just tapping that underneath the brow bone with a Makeup Geek pencil brush. And then I'm also using that on the inner corner of the eye as a highlight. For the lower lash line, but I'm just going to take that same flat eyeliner brush that we used, flat definer brush that we used for the upper lash line to smoke, and I'm doing that on the lower lash line as well. All the way from outer corner to where the lashes stop growing. Not all the way in, but to where the lashes stop growing. Okay, then I go in with a pencil brush. Actually, this is the e.l.f. Blending brush from the Studio line. And I'm taking Makeup Geek's Creme Brule, which is that second blending shade we used. And I'm actually just going to go right on top of what we just did with Creme Brule. And that actually lightens it out and smokes it just a bit. Here we go. Smoky just a little. And mascara on the lower lashes. So for my contour today, I am going to be using my classic Benefit Hoola bronzer. Instead of using the brush it came with, I'm actually going to be using a large stipple brush by e.l.f. So instead of like a stripe down my cheek, it's just going to be a more general bronze, not as striped. I really wanted to keep it more natural, so... Alright, so I'm just going to go in that general area with a stipple brush to give me a more natural, carved out look. And then I'm going to take that same color up here on the temple and down the side of the face like a 3. Every time I do that, I have to make the sound. It's funny. Okay. So, now that we're bronzed, for blush I'm going to be using a couple, actually. I don't know what it is with me lately in mixing products, but I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. And this is Nikki Tutorials. If you don't watch her, you need to. Her favorite blush, like, of all time. It's just like a pretty peachy color. And I'm popping that on the cheeks, but then on top of it, I just think that is just the most beautiful peachy pink. It's just beautiful. Okay, on top of that, I'm going to be using the Tarte 12-Hour Blush, Amazonian Clay Longwear Blush in Amused. And this is a really pretty blue tone pink, but like intense. So what I do is I put it on my brush, tap my brush off, I blow the excess, and then I apply it. I want the pink, I do want to see it, I just don't want to have it get away from me. And that can happen easily with a bright color blush. Okay, so then I'm going in with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders, and I'm using Incandescent Light as my highlight, and then I'm going to be using, that's the center one that's super white, right in the center, right at the top of the cheekbones with a fan brush. Then I'm going to be using the other two powders in the palette a little bit on my face. That is the look. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray real quickly. So there you have the finished look. This is my engagement photo shoot makeup, kind of soft and smoky with color because you don't want to look washed out in photos. You definitely don't want any SPF so you look like white cast. Just enough to carry it down your neck. Make sure there's no SPF involved. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.